Michael.
And I'm Cherise.
This channel is all about personal branding and finance, and we're helping young professionals like yourself to improve their lives every single day.
That's the Akinle way.
That's right. So if you want to get from here to here, you know what to do. Make sure you subscribe.
And if you already knew all of that, welcome back.
So the topic we're going to be discussing today is how to buy your property. But actually, there's going to be a twist. So I'm not actually going to be telling you how to buy your property because there's dedicated professionals for that. What I'm going to be educating you guys on today is how to prepare to buy your first property if you haven't bought one already. Okay, if you have bought your first property already and you want to buy a new one, great, do your thing. You already know the process. You're probably thinking, oh, Michael, like, how do I know when I'm ready to buy my first property? Do I have to wait to a certain age? Do I have to be earning a certain amount of money? Do I need to be a certain status? Some of them matter more than others, right? Some of them actually do matter more than others. So I want to walk you through my experience. What were the things I was doing? What were the steps I was taking? And essentially how I brought my property within about a month, right? Usually, on average, it takes about 3 to 6 months, according to her dad. Which actually is true. It takes a number of months. So yeah, it actually takes a long time to buy a property, but I did it in a very, very short period of time. But I'm going to get straight into it. All right, so I think the first thing that I did when I wanted to buy a property was, I remember I was at Cerise's house and I was like, I want to buy a house. I wanted to get married, and in my mind, for me as a guy anyway, I was thinking, well, there is no way I'm bringing this lady into a rented property. Heck no. So I was like, okay, I'm going to start this process, right? But was I saving already?
Yeah, you had already been saving.
Oh, I'd already been saving, right?
From when we got together, that was always going to be in the pipeline.
Okay.
And you always wanted your own property. So you were already saving. And then, but one thing you wanted to do was save earlier.
Right. So all I know is I was saving like from some months before, and I was saving like a substantial amount of money, right, for my salary. If you want to know how much I was saving a month, I was saving anything from about 1 to 1.5K a month. On that, I got some help from family as well. I'll be very transparent about that. I didn't ask, but they gave. I didn't know.
Oh, my child.
Yeah, they gave. I didn't ask for help, but they wanted to contribute. So if you have family members that want to contribute, I wouldn't say no. So the first thing I did, I went on the internet and I wanted a new build. So that's the first thing for you. That's my first tip. It's not really a tip, it's just an advice. If you want to buy a property, you need to decide whether you want a new, I don't even know how to say new today. New build, or a property that's already, has someone else living inside of it. And, well, an older property. Yeah. Right? I decided I didn't want to have to deal with anyone's presence.
Yeah, or taking long to get out.
Yeah.
Or taking long for them to, because when you're moving in, you have to wait till their paperwork is done so they can move out. Yeah. And maybe things get long.
It delays. It would have brought so many delays, right? And I didn't want that. So I just wanted a new build. I wanted to just build my beautiful house. It sounded so egotistical. Also decide whether you want a freehold or leasehold. Now, you can do your research, right? I'm not Google Assistant, right? I'm not here trying to define what everything means. But essentially, in layman's term, if you're a freeholder, if you have a freehold property, the property and the land is yours, right? If you have a leasehold, the property may be yours, but the land is actually not yours. So that means there's hidden costs. So service charge, maintenance cost, share of building insurance, for example, ground rent. I never really had to worry about all of that stuff buying a freehold property. So I'm not advising you whether you should buy a freehold property or leasehold. I am telling you, buy a freehold, not a leasehold. If you buy a leasehold property, you're going to be paying a lot of hidden costs. And yeah, it's just going to get really long and annoying, okay?
But sometimes if you're actually looking for a flat, it's
So
inevitable.
if you want to rent out a flat, or you want to,
because we're looking at 2-bedroom flats.
Apartments. We won't buy flats. You can't buy a flat. Yeah, you can buy an apartment. Apartments are also leasehold, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Leasehold. Yeah. They are leasehold.
Yeah, but not flats. So you can't buy a flat.
You can't buy a flat.
Yeah, because the flat belongs to a landlord.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes.
Oh, you only rent flats.
Yes.
But you buy apartments.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm also giving her an education here.
A flat and apartment is the same thing.
They're not the same thing. Yeah.
If you want to buy an apartment, you will have to pay leasehold.
Yes, your apartment is leasehold, so you'd have to pay hidden costs. Right? Go to Google, type in what are the hidden costs on the leasehold, and Google will tell you. Okay?
It might not be that much either.
It is. It is a lot. Okay.
You can budget for that.
Yeah.
If you really like the area, you really
but
like
there's no reason why they can't get a freehold in the area, but it's up to them anyway. Yeah. I want to tell you guys there's something called a shared ownership. Right? So basically the reason I did go for a shared ownership is because the property is not completely yours, right? You do have a mortgage, but you pay a percentage. And the government also pays a percentage. Okay, so the government own your house and you also own your house, right? I didn't really want to get into that situation. You can own more of a share of the property, but that's called staircasing. Again, Google. So basically, let me put it this way. If you want to go for a shared ownership, you don't even need to save for like a year. You can save for like 3 to 6 months and you can have a property, but it won't be completely yours, right? You can buy, it will be kind of like the government will have a share, you will have a share. You can buy more shares. That's why I was saying it. That's called staircasing. But I decided I didn't want the government to have any share or to have or for any percentage of my property to belong to them. Okay. But again, I would always recommend that you guys research what a shared ownership is, what freehold is, what leasehold is. Please do all this reading. Right, it's really, really important. I can tell you them, and I've given you guys some tips already on which ones you should go for.
But you don't want to be signing contracts
that you don't know what you're signing. Okay, so just do the reading. Right, we're here to kind of bridge the gap in information, but we're not here to give you all the information. Properties and buying properties, they're there's so much sensitive stuff that could cost you a lot of money if you don't know what you're doing.
If you're locked into it for.
Yeah, so just be careful. You need to decide whether you want a 1-bedroom property, a 2-bedroom property, or a 3-bedroom property, or 7-bedroom property. Okay? If you're rich enough to buy 7, do it. Yeah, I have a 3-bedroom property. Okay? I wanted a 3-bedroom because I wanted to be this house where I raise my children. I wanted to have enough space to stretch my legs. I'm kidding. But I just wanted the space. So I was deciding whether between a 2-bed and a 3-bed. And guess who convinced me to go with a 3-bedroom? My Nigerian mother. Because she just didn't see the sense of having a 2-bedroom.
Because we literally were looking for 2 bedrooms.
We were just looking for 2-bedroom apartments, actually.
Yeah, closer to London.
Closer to London, right? So we weren't even looking at proper houses. We were looking at apartments because we just wanted to get on a property ladder pretty quick. I remember I had to research the area I wanted to live in, what it was like. I had to research how easy access was to public transport. I had to research amenities around. I had to research
shops and
I had to research all that kind of stuff. But all that stuff was really, really important. I had to find out if the area was a vibrant area or quiet area, depending on my preference. I wanted a quiet area, so I was looking for somewhere that was quiet. Did I want kind of, vibrant countryside or
city living?
Yeah, you can live in the city if you want. So I moved to Kent, right? So there are more areas that are more vibrant than others in Kent. There's areas in Kent that are really peaceful, like really suburban, and there's some areas that are a lot more like London. Yeah. So one massive part of deciding where I lived was how long the commute was to London Bridge, because I worked in London Bridge at the time. So I had to find out how long the commute was to London Bridge. I had to find out how much I would be paying for transport. So guys, I was paying £6,000 a year.
£500 a month.
£500 a month. That's some of y'all's rent. Some of y'all don't even pay that in rent.
Right.
I'm just trying to let me express myself, okay? It was a lot of money. At the time, I just thought it was worth it because I was an hour away from London. The reason I was paying £500 a month is because my travel was from my station to London Bridge, but also included in that travel card was like zone 1 to 6.
So that's really good.
So it was a really good deal. Like, it was really good. I would have been paying way more if I was like buying my ticket every single day or weekly. So that was like probably one of the most important things. I had to find out how easy is it to get to church. Do I have to change a lot? Is there more like how easy it was to get direct trains, or would I have to change a lot? That was a massive thing.
Like what times of the day are they? Peak times.
Yeah, because so sometimes you can live in those areas where trains stop running by like 8 p.m.
Yeah, or buses. It's only a bus or a night bus or
there's no buses. Yeah. Some of you won't be able to live in certain areas because you don't drive. So there's 2 things you can do. Don't buy a property in the areas where you can't drive, or get your license. From my house to the station, I can't walk there. It's just, no. I have to drive there. So I actually can't live here if I didn't have a car. Okay, so that's another decision that you have to make. It's super important. So we found a bunch of stuff, right? We found apartments that we went to go and view, and we traveled, like everywhere that we viewed was predominantly outside London. Like we categorically decided that we did not want to live in London because we just knew that things were just going to be too expensive. It was over our budget.
And I didn't want to move back to London.
What's your beef with London? Oh my god, I can't remember some of the areas we went to, but they were like really far, but not too far. Like an hour and a half max. I was prepared to do.
So like Surrey side, Kent side.
It's mainly Kent because there was easy transport links from Kent to London Bridge. Also, just a little tip for you: depending on where you work, find the station where you work or the station around where you work, and find out what the stops are. So for example, what I'm trying to say, so every time I go to London Bridge, there's loads of trains going to loads of different places. So I knew that if I live in one of those places, I'll be able to get a train straight to London Bridge. Do you get it? So that's a really like interesting tip I want to give you guys. Filled out loads of application forms to do viewings. Oh my god, it was so tiring. Right? We went to loads of places. Some places I didn't even been built. I remember there was this place. Remember the place we viewed, and we had to wear like construction hats.
They gave us boots, hats,
the whole high vis.
The vest.
So yeah, it was insane. Like we were that determined to find a brand new property, right? We were really determined. This was a massive part, and you have to do this. You have to have a budget. Let's say you decide, okay, I don't need a house, or I don't want to buy a house that's more expensive than 400,000, right? So understanding just the price of the house you like is really important because then that's how you calculate what your deposit is going to be. Now, depending if you use like the help to buy scheme, if it's still available when you're ready to purchase the house, because the help to buy scheme is supposed to run out in 2021. But if it's still available, great. You can, buy your house on a 5% deposit. If you want to buy your house outright with a 10% deposit or put a larger deposit like 20% or 40%, completely up to you. Your rich donnies that are watching this, you can buy your house 50% deposit.
Or you're just great at saving. You don't have to be that rich. You're just really good, so can put that 1k a month away.
But you obviously have to do that for a period of time, right?
Yeah, you were doing that.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. My house is not 400k, right? But let's say my house cost 400k all in all. I had to then understand how much deposit I had to put down. So 10% of that, if I didn't use the help to buy, would be 40,000, right, as a deposit. If I was using the help to buy scheme, which was 5%, it would be 20,000. If you don't have a deposit ready, do not bother getting through the whole property process, because when it comes to reserving your property, because you have to pay a reservation fee, which is what I did, they're gonna find out from, like, if you want it to be long, don't have your deposit ready. That's all I'm saying.
Just be looking. Take your time to do your research.
Yeah, faff. But if you're really serious about buying a property, understand what your budget is, understand how much deposit you're going to use, and then give yourself a time frame. So let's say a year. Then divide the deposit by the time frame that you're giving yourself. So when you decide, okay, this is the property I want, this is how much it costs, this is how much deposit I need to put down, this is the time frame in which I need to buy it, then you need to start, then you need to calculate how much can I save to have this deposit. For example, my deposit, if I wanted to buy a £400,000 house, would be 20% if I use the help to buy, which is 20 grand. So then I have to do, if I wanted to buy it in a year, 5% of 20 grand, yeah. So if I wanted to buy it within a year, I would say, okay, how much do I need to save every single month to have 20 grand in 12 months? Yeah. And that's how much you need to be saving. You have to do that, right?
Because they're going to run checks on you.
Yeah, and you have to do that religiously. I would recommend, I use Skipton. So I use Skipton to save my deposit. And the reason I use Skipton, because
what is Skipton?
It's basically, it's a building society. It's a bank and building society, but they had a lifetime ISA, research it. And basically what a lifetime ISA was doing was it was paying me, I believe, 25% of what I was putting in. So if you're putting in £1,000, you would get an extra £250 on top of that. So I got a lot of free money from Skipton anyway, and that helped me to save up for my deposit quicker. So if you want to use a lifetime, there's loads of different ISAs out there. Again,
see the best
my brain capacity doesn't allow me to tell you what each of them are. I did a lot of reading, by the way, guys. Like, I had to understand what are the pros of a lifetime ISA, what are the cons of a lifetime ISA, what are the pros of a help to buy ISA, what are the cons of a help to buy ISA, what are the pros of buying your property without any kind of ISA. What are the cons of buying? I just did a lot of reading, so I was really well equipped to know what I was getting myself into. So there wasn't like any cost that was going to surprise me.
Putting both of our names and stuff on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So that was one thing I found out is when you use the help to buy, you can't have another property in your name.
Yeah. Within a certain time.
Yeah, I believe it was whether it's. I need to go back to it. We'll put it in comments below. I need to go back to it, but yeah, I was really that was a big con for me, that I can't have another property in my name. But it wasn't the end of the world because I was getting married soon. So I said, okay, you know what, I'll have this property that we live in my name. I wouldn't have allowed Sharice to get a property under the help to buy scheme. She would have just been doing the 10% so that she can have numerable properties. Like, she can have 10 if she wants to. There's no like hindrance to that. Okay, so budget. Tell me, recap with me, guys. I'm joking. Budget, deposit, time frame. Here is the kind of interesting part. I would say interesting part, but it was the dun 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 kind of part for me. A mortgage broker. And do you know what a mortgage broker is? A mortgage broker is a person that basically tells you whether you're wasting your time, or you're wasting their time, or you're ready to buy a property. You have to get a conveyancer yourself. So basically, a conveyancer is the person that deals with all the legal documents that are tied to the entity being a property. So again, Google. Two main people you're going to have really good relationships with is your conveyancer and your mortgage broker. Mostly your mortgage broker, because they basically get the best rate for you in terms of interest rates. Yeah. They find you a lender. So who are you? Santander. I'm with Santander. You can go to your bank directly, but I just use a mortgage broker simply because they just did everything for me. Like, this is why this video is not actually how to buy property, because the mortgage broker does the how to buy property for you. But it's the preparation. That's all you guys need to worry about. Because if you're prepared, you can buy property within weeks, like 4 weeks. I did it I started looking at the end of July. By the end of August, I had the keys in my hand. Okay, but between the start of July and the end of July was just, you know, all the research and the viewings and stuff. But August was like, went to the property to view it. On the same day, I paid my reservation fee, and then boom, it was swift.
Pay stamp duty.
I did.
You did?
I did, but actually no, you're right. Stamp duty was paid for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It was basically a deal. So they have, when you go onto like a property site and you like. Do like Zoopla. Yeah, like not Zoopla, please, not Zoopla. Avoid Zoopla, avoid Rightmove. Please go to companies that are actually like Taylor Wimpey, Persimmons. Go to companies that are actually property developers, and they are the ones that essentially are the ones selling the property. A mortgage broker is the one that buys it for you.
But why should you not use the estate agents and Zoopla and Rightmove?
Because when you want a new build, I just go to the people that are selling the property.
Yeah, that's true.
If you want an old house, go to estate agents. Like, no problem. Go in your piece. Yeah, there's no problem with estate agents. I don't have an experience with an estate agent, so I cannot comment on them on this video. Okay, I'm not gonna say things I don't know. All right. So my experience with a property developer, particularly it was Persimmons. Because they have a lot of properties around here in Kent. They develop a lot of properties here in Kent.
David Wilson as well.
Yes, there we go, David Wilson. So Taylor Wimpey, David Wilson was really good. Persimmons was also really good. So these are the three that I would recommend. So Sharice, can you just put it in the video, Taylor, so that they remember?
Yeah.
Okay, great. See, I really care about you guys, don't I? Because I registered to like all this David Wilson and Taylor Wimpey and all this stuff. Like, I get texts.
Okay. Of
like when they have like special offers and stuff like that. Okay. So I got a text. I remember I was even sick. I was on my bed. It was on like a Friday. I flew out of my bed like I was perfectly fine. I was like, Mum, I am going to Kent right now. And my mum wanted to come. Reserved by this weekend, we'll pay for your stamp duty.
That was on the text message.
That was on the text message. So I actually had less than 24 hours. So I remember I was going on the train. I'd gone to pay the reservation fee on my property, and mortgage broker called me. And it was basically, it's a telephone interview. That's what it is. What's your name? Some security stuff. Are you a British citizen? Blah, blah, blah. How much are you earning a year? Scariest question. The job of this person is to qualify whether I could get a mortgage or not. So yeah, they ask you how much you're earning. They ask all your outgoings.
Wow.
All of them. Like literally, you can't hide anything. Like if you have a car, how much you're paying for the car, how much is, like if you're paying rent at the moment, how much that rent is. If you're paying for food, like they want to know everything. They literally want to know your entire life, right? That's how they decide whether you can afford the monthly payments of a mortgage, okay? If you get the thumbs up from a mortgage broker, great. They will then go through the next steps. They'll, I can't remember the entire process, guys. It's been since September, right? So give me a break.
A really long time.
A really long time. So I can't remember the entire process, but essentially you just need to send them what you need. I remember I had to get like 6 months worth of pay slips to prove that I was earning what I said I was earning. And I had to get 3 months, no, I had to get 3 months of pay slip, 6 months of my bank statement so that they can see all my outgoings. I had to give them all my like British citizenship stuff, my passport, everything. Like they don't play. They really want to know like what your outgoings are, because at the end of the day, if they give you a mortgage and you can't afford it, they don't want to like be, you know, they don't want to. They don't want to put you. Yeah, of course you get in debt, but you be evicted.
Yeah.
Like that's a really serious thing. Like if you're evicted, remember guys, that goes. I did a previous video on your credit score. If you're bankrupt or you get evicted, like that's a really serious thing, right? So you don't want to ever get yourself in that situation. So guys, like once you get your mortgage broker, that's it. You're sweet. When they've given you a thumbs up, it's basically like your girlfriend saying yes to you when you propose. I'll just compare it to that because you've made it. When you've done that, you've made it. My property developer recommended a mortgage broker for me, a company called Threshold Mortgages. You can put it there as well on the screen for them if you want to. If those of you that have everything ready now, only 6 months in a year, use them. They're really, really good. They recommended a conveyancer for me, which thank God I didn't have to pay really stupidly high legal fees. I remember my mom told me to get in touch with the person that she used for her apartment. They were charging me $7,000 worth of legal fees. I remember the quote, but my quote was like 1.5. Right, so please do your research on conveyancers and find out how much they're charging you. Okay, some of them are just bumps out here. All right, there's a lot of back and forths. There's a lot of letters they send you, and there's a lot of fat documents they send you. You have to read through all of them. I remember there were nights I was spending 2 hours reading through all the legals.
I didn't want to wait so that I could read them with him.
Yeah.
He'd be like,
yeah, I've gone through.
Babe,
I'll be going to bed 1 a.m. in the morning. Like it was too long to tell Sharice for everything. Honestly, it's too long. But I just had to sign deeds. I had to sign deeds of covenant. Like there's so many like really legal terms that I had to do. My brain, oh my god, my brain. And
so don't do it alone.
Well, if you're smart enough, you can. If you know what you're doing, you can. But if you want to get maybe like someone senior, someone that's already bought properties to look over it for you. But at the end of the day, like grow up, mate. You want to buy a property, you need to at least learn how to read contracts. No, they need to learn how to read contracts. I'm telling to do that for you. No, don't tell anyone to do it for you. You do it yourself. Your conveyancer never sends you anything via email. Really, they don't. Unless like they just need something from you. They need you to physically sign most documents anyway, so they'll send it to you in the post box. You have to read through it, and depending on how long you take to read through it, you caused the delay on buying your property basically. So what I did when they send me something, I don't care how long it is. I'll read through everything that same night, and I'll send it to them the next day in the post office. So that's why like buying my property didn't take too long, right? Don't like. So that's the thing. Like if you want to
sign all the things,
on
sure,
where they say you should sign it, they'll send it back to you. Yeah, if you don't sign it in the right place. If you want to avoid delays on buying a property, just sign stuff when they needed to sign it and send it back the next day. When your mortgage broker asks for a certain document, don't take long. Send it back the next day. Just do it. Just like be fast.
Don't be fast.
Okay, well, be fast in the sense of be thorough, but be quick, right? Otherwise, it'll take you 5 months to buy one common property. Yeah, it's not that deep.
Don't say that.
All right.
It's a big dream for some people.
Yes, it was a big dream for me too, but I didn't take long. I was eager. I think that's pretty much it. I remember, and I came to view my property a number of times. I brought Sharice the property for the first time. She really loved it. There was nothing in here.
Yeah.
Nothing in here.
Even no floor.
By the way, I need to tell you guys, right? When you're buying property, don't just think about your deposit.
Yeah.
Think about the money for your furniture.
Please.
Okay?
Please think about
it's so important. There was nothing in this place when I bought it. Nothing.
Only
there wasn't even a flooring.
But we did have a stove.
So they gave us a cooking hob, they gave us an oven, they gave us a boiler. Yeah. They gave us there were lights, and that was it. Literally, everything else I had to put.
It's a big shell, but it's really exciting to fill it up.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to buy something that was completely empty, because I wanted to put my own stamp on it, and I wanted Sharice to put her own stamp on it. So from the whole kitchen, the fridge, microwave, cutlery,
but you're not allowed to do
machine.
the walls.
Yeah, don't do it.
You're not allowed to paint.
Don't do that.
For a few years.
No, don't do that,
if
please.
you're going to get a new build. But you don't really want to, because it's nice.
It's nice, yeah.
Beautiful. They do everything
it's brand new.
High tech now.
It's brand new. Everything, this property when I came into it was super modern. I have a thermostat. Let's just say it.
We have a thermostat.
Yeah, so I just press buttons just to put the heating up, right?
Yeah, and it tells us how much we've been using.
Yes, I have a smart meter as well. Yeah. So that was really useful. So I spent about approximately £8,000 on my furniture, so decorating the whole house, and I'm still spending money. Even today, I spent money. So from couches, and by the way, this might have to be a separate video.
It will have to be. On
places to get bargain furniture.
Oh, yeah.
That's definitely a separate video. Because we didn't pay, we could have paid £2,000 for a bed, for a mattress.
For a mattress.
For a mattress alone. But we paid we didn't even pay £2,000 for filling both of our bedrooms. So that's a separate video, and that's a lot of things I need to write down. Anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Yeah, if you have any questions, I'm sure you guys have loads of questions, things I didn't mention. Please put them in the comment section, and we will reply. Please subscribe. Sharice, do your thing. Like, comment if you like the video. If you have, I don't even want to know. It's great if you like the video, but comment. I want questions. I want to answer questions for you guys. I want to help you guys.
Yeah, you want to know if this is helpful.
If it was helpful or not.
You want to know more. If you have any questions about what we said, need to clarify something for you.
Yeah.
We can do
or if you
that.
even disagree with what we said, right? We want to know how you did it. There's more than one way to skin a cat, right? There's more than one way to buy a property. We're not saying that our way is the way. It's a way. It's a way that worked, and it was also a quick way. Okay.
It's the Akinle way.
It's the Akinle. Oh, high five. Boom. It's the Akinle way. So guys, thank you for watching. I know that I spoke super quick in this video, but I was very conscious of how long this video was. But I really enjoyed telling you guys about my journey. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope it was super informative. This wasn't to tell you how to buy. You don't need to worry about how to buy a property. They're professionals for that, and you have to use them. Okay.
You can't just.
Yeah. You can't, babe. Don't try to sell them dreams. Use the professionals. You have to use a conveyancer, right? Because you can't get your head around all the legal stuff. You can't even start with the legal stuff by yourself. Don't do it by yourself, okay? Keep the Akinle way. I don't know what I was trying to say there. Anyway, bye. See y'all!